A veil of mystery hangs heavily over the world's most haunted houses, their stories etched in the annals of horror. These are the places where the thin veil between our world and the next seems to tear, where the unimaginable becomes reality. The chill you feel, the hairs standing on the back of your neck, they're not just figments of your imagination. They're whispers from the other side, echoes of the past. Dare to venture into the shadows with us as we unravel the secrets of the real Conjuring houses? Our first haunting tale begins in the 1970s, in the heart of Amityville, New York. In the sleepy town of Amityville, nestled at 112 Ocean Avenue, stands a house that has become a font of chilling stories, a symbol of horror that has transcended time. This isn't just any house, my dear listener, but the infamous Amityville Horror House. The story unfolds in the winter of 1974 when a young man named Ronald DeFeo Jr. committed a crime so heinous it shocked the world. In the dead of night, he took the lives of his entire family while they slept, claiming he was driven to it by voices in the house. A year later, the Lutz family moved in, hopeful for a fresh start in their new home, but their hopes were dashed as they were plagued by a series of unexplainable, terrifying events. They experienced cold spots in certain parts of the house, foul smells that appeared and vanished without a source, and an unseen entity that knocked on doors and walls. Their 5-year-old daughter made an invisible friend, a red-eyed pig-like creature named Jody. The final straw came 28 days later when George Lutz woke to find his wife levitating off their bed. The family fled, leaving all their belongings behind, never to return. Paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren stepped in, documenting the house's eerie happenings. Their findings were controversial, but one thing was certain: something was terribly amiss at 112 Ocean Avenue. So what became of the Amityville house, you ask? It has changed hands several times since the Lutz family's hasty departure. Despite renovations and even a change in address, the house's sinister reputation remains. The Amityville house still stands, a silent testimony to the horrors it once housed. We now cross the Atlantic to a small council house in Enfield, England, where the supernatural made itself known in the late 70s. Our tale begins in the summer of 1977, when the Hodgson family, consisting of a single mother and her 4 children, started experiencing peculiar happenings. It all started innocuously enough, with furniture moving on its own and knocking sounds echoing through the house. But then, the incidents began to escalate. One evening, 2 of the children, Janet and Margaret, claimed that their beds were shaking violently, a claim that was initially dismissed as their imagination running wild. However, as the days passed, the phenomena grew more intense and terrifying. Objects would fly across rooms, heavy furniture would be thrown about, and chilling voices would emanate from thin air. The family was soon in the grip of fear. The children reported seeing dark figures moving around the house, while their mother, Peggy, was often awakened by a chilling sensation of someone pulling at her bed covers. The eerie occurrences culminated when Janet, the second oldest child, started displaying signs of possession. She would speak in a deep, gruff voice, claiming to be the spirit of a man named Bill, who had died in the house years ago. Specialists and investigators were called upon to witness and document these strange events. Some of them came away convinced of the authenticity of the haunting, while others remained skeptical, attributing the incidents to the children's pranks and the family's overactive imagination. Yet, despite the skepticism, the Enfield Poltergeist, as it came to be known, remains one of the most documented cases of paranormal activity in history. The house on Green Street continues to stand, unassuming and ordinary, belying the chilling tales of its haunted past. The echoes of these inexplicable events continue to haunt the Enfield house, a grim reminder of its paranormal past. Our journey into the inexplicable takes us back to America, to a farmhouse in Rhode Island, the setting of the original Conjuring movie. In the heart of the picturesque New England countryside, the Old Arnold Estate stood for over 2 centuries, a silent witness to an eerie past. For 10 long years in the 70s, it was home to the Perron family, a family of 7 that was soon to discover the chilling truth of their abode. They say the house was already 200 years old when the Perrons moved in. With its creaky wooden floors and rooms filled with antique furniture, it was a dwelling that time seemed to have forgotten. But the past was far from silent, and it didn't take long for the family to realize that they were not alone. It began with small, inexplicable occurrences. Items would disappear only to reappear in the strangest of places. Doors would creak open in the middle of the night. Soft whispers would fill the silent hallways. It was peculiar but not particularly alarming, until the occurrences escalated into a full-fledged nightmare. The benign whispers turned into threatening voices. Beds would levitate in the dead of the night. The children would see spirits, some friendly, others not so much. The mother, Carolyn Perron, was reportedly possessed by the spirit of a witch who lived there in the early 19th century, a woman named Bathsheba. The Perrons sought help from renowned paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Warrens confirmed the presence of a powerful, malevolent force, and their attempts to cleanse the house are the stuff of legend, even inspiring the blockbuster Conjuring series. After a decade of enduring this spectral torment, the Perron family left the Old Arnold Estate, but the memories of their horrifying experiences lingered, forever etched into the annals of paranormal history. The Old Arnold Estate, a place where reality and the supernatural world collide, continues to instill fear and curiosity in the hearts of many. Our final stop, a charming old house in Connecticut, hides a terrifying secret. This quaint New England home, nestled amid the serene beauty of Connecticut, was once the stage for a story that would chill the bones of those who heard it. The tale begins in the 1980s, when the Snedeker family, in search of a fresh start, moved into this unassuming abode. Little did they know, the house had a past steeped in darkness, a past that would soon become their living nightmare. The Snedekers discovered that their new home used to be a funeral parlor, a revelation that sent shivers down their spines. But the true horror began when strange occurrences started to disrupt their everyday lives. Objects moved on their own, inexplicable cold spots appeared, and a putrid smell permeated the air. The family's world was turned upside down as they found themselves living in a house that seemed to be possessed by the unknown. But the real terror came at night. The Snedekers reported seeing shadowy figures and hearing eerie sounds. They claimed that unseen hands touched them in their sleep, and their dreams were filled with horrifying visions. Their son, in particular, began to exhibit uncharacteristic and disturbing behavior, claiming to interact with the spirits that haunted the house. Desperate for help, the family reached out to renowned paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren. The couple, famous for their work on cases such as the Amityville Horror and the Enfield Poltergeist, arrived to examine the house. They confirmed the Snedekers' fears, stating that the house was indeed haunted by malevolent entities, spirits trapped and tormented from their time in the funeral parlor. The Snedekers eventually moved out, but the memories of their time in the Connecticut house have remained, a chilling reminder of the experiences they endured. Despite attempts to cleanse the house, reports of strange occurrences continue to this day. The Connecticut house remains an embodiment of terror, its walls whispering tales of the unseen. As we step back from these houses of horror, one can't help but feel a chill running down their spine. Our journey took us from the infamous 112 Ocean Avenue, a house that witnessed such malevolent forces that its tale still echoes in the annals of horror. Then to England, where the Enfield Poltergeist's reign of terror proved that no distance is too far for the grasp of the supernatural. Next, we ventured into the Old Arnold Estate, a place where time stood still and the spirits refused to rest. Its chilling history, layered with incidents of spectral sightings and eerie happenings, has made it a landmark in the realm of the paranormal. Our final stop was the Haunting in Connecticut, a location that blurred the lines between the living and the dead. It's a chilling reminder that sometimes the most terrifying things are not those that lurk in the shadows, but those that exist right under our noses. These stories leave an indelible mark on the world of horror, reminding us that fear can reside in the most ordinary of places, transforming them into sights of terror. They are a testament to the chilling fact that sometimes the walls do talk, and they tell tales of horror and dread. Thank you for joining us on this chilling journey. Don't forget to subscribe for more spine-tingling tales. Until next time, remember, the next creak you hear might just be something more.